What's up, gamers? I'm your host, Cobra, and this is Freeroll Friday. This week, after our market update, we're breaking down a big project update from Riot Racers. So as always, we start off with our market update, and that means we're going to dive into Otherdeeds first. Otherdeeds are down a little bit from last week. The floor is at 2.3, which I believe is the current all-time low. The biogenetic swap, or BC land, is down 10% to 5.6 and starting to get very close to a buy range for us here at the free roll. Codas have come down the most at 16%. Those are sitting at just under 16.5 Ethereum. Heading over to our Immutable X projects, we see that Illuvium is down a little bit this week. The Tier 1 floor remained about the same at 0.41, but Tier 2 is down 6% to 1.12, and Tier 3 is down 14% at 3.42. Guild of Guardians is our other Immutable X project, and we see red across the board for GOG this week. The rare heroes are coming in at 0.0043, the epic heroes at 0.0164, legendary heroes at 0.131, and the legendary pets are down to 0.436. If you're interested in any of the Immutable X projects, now is a great time to go shopping. Not only are great projects like Illuvium and Guild of Guardians down a little bit this week, but they also announced new trading rewards. For any day where you complete more than $10 worth of trades, and that can be buy or sell, then you are getting a portion of 40,000 MX tokens that are being handed out. This is a very similar program to what we see on X2Y2 or Looks Rare, and a welcome boost for the otherwise much slower Immutable X marketplace. Heading over to our Polygon project, Riot Racers, we actually see green across the board this week. The Artemis cars are up to 0.028, the Apollo cars at 0.057, and Genesis cars at 0.089. The Genesis driver floor remains at 0.019. That is still the same very low rated driver that I guess nobody really wants. We're going to be talking a whole bunch more about Riot Racers this week, as they are our project update for the week and might explain some of the rising prices. Heading back over to ETH mainnet, Frontier is mostly down across the board as well. We see the Stellar key under 4 ETH for, I believe, the first time ever. The data key itself is also nearing an all-time low at 0.345, and Zero is down a whopping 32% to 0.04. Now, I told you that was going to happen with the Zero NFT, so hopefully nobody is surprised by that slide. The Lucky Watcher remains at 0.4. I don't think there were any sales in the last week, and as such, I think we are going to drop that from our tracker. Finally, Parallel has some interesting results this week, and one of them is making me scratch my head if I had a mistake last week potentially, but the overall floor remains quite low at 0.0028. Those NFTs really still have no effective utility today. However, the SE floor is up almost 150% according to my tracker. That's the one where I wonder if I maybe made a mistake last week, but either way, it's currently sitting at 0.0174, which makes a whole lot more sense for those cards, in my opinion. The Prime key, on the other hand, has seen real action this week, as it is the premium utility NFT in that collection, and the floor is up 50% from 14 ETH to 21 ETH. I believe I saw it rise as high as 25 or 26 ETH earlier this week, though I'm not sure anybody made a purchase at that level. The project update for this week is Riot Racers, and you can bet that anytime there's a significant update from any of our Market Watch projects, it is absolutely going to get covered here on the Freeroll. Likely it will be the project update for Freeroll Friday that week. However, if it's big enough, it will likely get its own standalone video as well. This is one that we have been anticipating for quite a while. I've been telling you during Market Watches that things have been slow for Riot Racers while they worked on this update, and it's got a ton of new features. So let's jump right in. The first one that has me really truly geeked is car upgrades. If you've been following this channel for a while, you know that I was very lucky during the last drop that had mechanic shops and was able to snag one for myself. This is a relatively rare NFT in the project, and it gives me a couple of benefits. I get a discount on my own personal upgrades, so we're going to be spending some Riot very soon. And in addition, I get a portion of the Riot that is spent on car upgrades in the ecosystem paid out to me as well. Now, that is not expected to be a big jump anytime too soon because they've been paying us for owning the mechanic shops anyways. But long term, if this game is successful, I expect that could be a very lucrative opportunity. Of course, big if. Nobody has been long term successful in this space just yet. There's going to be 7 different categories that you can upgrade, I believe 10, maybe even 12 times each, and so that will take quite a while and quite a bit of spending. However, it's going to make it so that the cars are no longer all equal in terms of performance. That is great because your car represents 29% of the total race outcome, and the ability to buy some upgrades will hopefully help some other racers have a chance to keep up with Cobra. Another really big feature that's coming in is USDC integration. Previously, Riot Racers leveraged USDT, which has had some problems, and so they are switching to a much safer USDC. But more than that, they're going to start offering USDC races as well. That means that your entry fee will be paid in USDC and the rewards will also be paid in USDC. This is significant for a couple of reasons. Number one, the low price of the Riot token means that even the most expensive paid races today are not very expensive at all. So having USDC prices means that they can offer a little bit bigger stakes, and that should be a little bit more exciting, especially since the results are going to be a lot more unpredictable with car upgrades entering as well. So we're excited to see that. The other really cool thing about USDC is that there will never be a USDC withdrawal limit like we currently have around the Riot token. We're also going to see an achievement system, and if you've been playing definitely mobile games, but a lot of different games as a service in the Web 2 world, then achievements is something you're going to be very familiar with. Essentially, you're going to earn some rewards simply by playing the game. There's going to be a handful of different requirements that you're going to have to hit in order to unlock each level of rewards, but those are things that you would likely be naturally doing in-game anyways, and the really cool thing is that one of those rewards is an increased withdrawal limit per day. We are very much looking forward to unlocking as much withdrawal limit as possible because the 300 that is standard for owners today is very, very small. If you're a scholar, this is going to also allow you to increase your racing school earnings as you unlock higher levels as well. We're also going to see staking implemented for the Riot token. Now, I can tell you for sure staking is going to be a requirement for the achievement system, so be prepared to do at least a little bit of staking. Because the token price is so low today, the minimums for that I expect are going to be very, very reasonable, so pretty much anybody should be able to hit those requirements. Personally, we're not interested in selling at 1 cent or 2 cents, so we're going to be staking pretty much everything that we don't need to spend in game, and hopefully those rewards and an increased token price in the future will pay some nice dividends. We're also finally getting the leaderboard back. I'm not sure why, but the leaderboard stopped working a while back. They were clunky and slow anyways, so I don't think very many people were looking at them, but I expect to be at or near the top of the leaderboards once they do return, and so I've been looking forward to that feature for quite some time. It's going to be paid racing only this time, and it should load very quickly. And the final big update that they announced is Billboard integration. This is a welcome surprise because I don't think Billboard owners were expecting to see this anytime too soon. And full disclosure, they're not getting the full updates like mechanic shop owners are. The version 1 of Billboards that's going to roll out, however, is going to be simply a banner ad at the top of the Riot Racers app itself, and it'll just randomly cycle through the ones that have been submitted. That is definitely not the full functionality that was promised in the white paper, and they admit as such, but they wanted Billboard owners to get in on the fun a little bit sooner, and frankly, if I did own a Billboard, which I do not, then I would be very pleased with this update. If you are a Billboard owner, please contact me because I'd love to have the Freeroll channel advertised in the very first batch of Billboards. Now, we don't have a specific date on when this update is going to hit. However, as someone who's been following Riot Racers from the very beginning, and as somebody who is a very minor part of the beta testing team, I can tell you what typically happens. They make this announcement when they are very, very close, but not 100%, and they don't promise a date right away other than very soon because they're just not 100% on when that date is going to be yet, and this is the correct approach in my opinion. Delays, even ones that are warranted and reasonable, tend to have a very negative response by the community and the secondary market. So whenever you're not sure, I think it's best to be a little bit more vague and under promise so that you can hit your commitments. What's going to happen over the weekend and early next week is additional beta testing to try to find all of the bugs and fix them before rolling out into production. That means that we are about a week away from the update actually going live. In the post itself, they promised early August, and that lines up with my analysis perfectly. So I would expect by mid to late next week, we'll see this update roll out. Now, today's trading tip is a very simple one, and it's simple because, well, I don't have that much to tell you about it just yet. Check out the GameStop marketplace. You may have heard in the news a while back that they were going to be rolling out an NFT marketplace. It opened up a couple of weeks ago and surprisingly has done very, very well. Now, it's difficult to compare it to any other blockchains because right now the NFTs being sold there are exclusively there, but there is no doubt it is outperforming Ethereum mainnet in a lot of different ways, and I think it's likely because GameStop is a Web 2 brand and hopefully bringing in lots of new buyers to the ecosystem. Whatever it is that's causing it, it is a good thing for the overall space. And the reason why the Freeroll is quite excited about this marketplace is that in the near future, they're going to integrate Immutable X projects as well. We are very big fans of Immutable X here at the Freeroll, and several of the best gaming projects out there live on Immutable X, including Guild of Guardians and Illuvium. When you combine those two factors, I think it is easy to predict that spending on those projects is going to increase potentially a lot when that integration happens. Now, we don't have a date yet. They do have a big post on the front page of the GameStop marketplace, and you can see a bunch of the different games that are going to come over when that does happen. So if you've been following any Immutable X projects like Guild of Guardians and been waiting to make a purchase, my advice would be to try and get that done before the GameStop marketplace takes over as the main marketplace for Immutable X, and we likely see those prices rise. And that wraps up this week's Freeroll Friday. I hope you found this entertaining and informative, and if you did, consider giving us a follow on Twitter. That's where I love to engage with the Web3 gaming community and answer all of your questions. That's also the best way to reach me if you're interested in working together.